before I begin, I think it'd be nice that it's good that I'd like to congratulate all of you for coming into the NUS. I think you made the right choice, and I really hope that you're going to have a great time here in NUS in the Department of Chemistry for the next 4 years. So, Linda, next slide, please. Thank you. So I want to sort of share with you this slide, and it sort of tells you the people whom you are likely to meet in your first semester, and also in maybe the first 1.5 years, people who will be, I think, very useful to you. Of course, that's myself on the left-hand side, upper left-hand side of this slide here. Myself, I'm the, as I just mentioned, the deputy head in charge of education. And then we have Professor Chin Wee Shong. She's in charge of administration in the department as well as student life. And then we have Adrian. Professor Adrian Lee, he's teaching CM1102. So for those of you, if you declare yourself as a chemistry major, then you'll be doing CM1102, which is the gateway module, the gateway course for chemistry in semester 1. That means next month. Okay, you get to see Adrian. Now, Adrian, he's probably one of the, if not the best lecturer we have here in the department and really at the university at large. And we are very happy that he'll be teaching CM1102 next month to, I think, probably many of you here. We also have Carrie, who is the administrator. I think Carrie is here in this group today. And Carrie is in charge of a lot of the administrative work regarding undergraduate. And then we have Linda. I'm sure that many of you here would have received emails from her. Now, we have 3 more person at the bottom of the slide, and there's Dr. Junction, who is the level 1 to 4 coordinator. So if there are any issues with signing up for courses whatsoever, I mean, of course, you can look for Carrie, but you can also look for Junction. He's able to help you. Many students will sign up for undergraduate research, and Michael Yudhishthira, here at the bottom of the slide, will be able to help you. And then finally, I know that many of you probably look forward to going for a student exchange program for half a year, 1 semester, perhaps in Korea or in the US or in Europe. And in this case, Dr. Edwin Chan will be helping you with this student exchange. Okay, so I think these are the important characters whom you probably meet somehow in your next 1-2 years in the NUS. Now, next slide, Linda. Okay, what I'm going to share with you now will just be the essential of what would be important in your first semester, because I think that you really learn the rest of the stuff after you are in. Okay, but in the next 1-2 weeks, when you have to declare yourself as a chem major, what modules, what courses to sign up for, I think that this would be useful. If you go to the chemistry homepage, probably some of you are probably doing it right now. If you go to the chemistry homepage, you see somewhere in the upper right-hand corner, okay, what do you call that? A tab where you can click on, okay, it says student portal. Now, if you click on, and so this student portal contains a lot of very important information. So if you click onto it, Linda, next, please. If you click onto this student portal, you will see this particular homepage over this page over here. Okay, and you can see that contains a lot of information. Now, what sort of information will you be getting out from this page? Number one, what if you want to know, what you need to do to get your, for example, your chemistry first major. Okay, you can click onto those tabs over there. There will probably be a PDF document, and it tells you what you have to do. What are the courses that you need to sign up for to get the chemistry first major. Now, if you're interested, for example, to join the lab of a professor, perhaps like myself or my colleagues, but you're wondering what is undergraduate research all about, you can again click onto the tab on the right-hand side that says UROPS, Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program in Science. Again, contains a lot of information on how do you go about signing up to do research in the lab. If you're interested in student exchange programs, as I said, you want to spend half a year in Korea or half a year in the States or Europe, you can tap on to this link, student exchange program, and figure it out. Scholarships and bursaries, we have information too. Now, I think something that could be of curiosity to all of you is suggested study plans. Now, what is this all about? Okay, of course, we understand that if you come in, and you're not fully in tune with the system, you could be a little bit lost. Perhaps for the guys who are here after 2 years of national service, maybe even more lost. I can understand, because I was pretty lost after I finished my national service and was coming into NUS some years ago. But you can click onto this so-called study plans. Now, what is this study plan all about? Now, Linda, next page, please. So this study plan gives you, it's a suggested plan on how you might want to plan your timetable during your studies in the NUS. Essentially, this is what it's supposed to be. It is just a suggestion. There is no need to follow it from A to Z. Okay, it just gives you a rough idea how you might want to plan your timetable. And if you look at this timetable, more or less, you need to do about 5 courses every semester. So if you do 5 courses, and every course is 4 units, and it means if you do it over 8 semesters, you get your 160 units, okay, and then you graduate. Now, if you are interested to be a chemistry major, please sign up and please declare yourself as a chemistry major when the course sign up begins, I think next week. And then what happens is you'll be pre-allocated with the gateway course, which is CM1102, the one that's taught by Adrian Michael Lee, okay? So please do that. I think this is something that, this is another takeaway, which please remember this, okay? Next slide. Now, apart from this, what other courses do we offer within the university, and how can we find out information about it? So again, if you go to the student portal webpage, which I showed 2 slides ago, you can go to what's called a course listing, okay? So this course listing, which we have on this page, tells you the courses that are available in academic year 24-25, which means starting next month in August. It tells you the courses that are available, like for example, CM1102, the title of the course, which is Chemistry, the Central Science. There is a course description. That means roughly what is this course about. It's a very concise description. It tells you the prerequisites. That means what must you do to get into the course. Preclusion means that those who cannot take the course, okay? And then how many units, which is 4, and then when it is offered, semester 1 and semester 2 in this case. So semester 1, the course is taught by Professor Adrian Lee, and then in semester 2 is taught by Dr. Chong. For those, again, who are registered as chemistry majors, you will sign up for this course automatically in semester 1. And then now there's also a list of other courses. Obviously, I could only show just a small sample of it, but there's much more. When you reach your 3rd year, your 4th year, you're able to do the so-called elective courses. That means you opt to do it. And we have courses ranging from chemical biology, semiconductors, synthetic chemistry, green chemistry, energy resources, catalysis, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things here. So what my suggestion, I think, to all the freshmen who are coming into NUS is spend your first semester, your first 1 year to explore what is out there. I really don't think that it is possible for me or for anybody to tell you exactly what is happening. I don't think it's advisable as well. I tell you all just the bare essentials, and then once you come in, figure out and sort of learn, what we have. And I can show all of you there's a lot of things available for you, and you just need to find out what these are. Linda, next slide, please. Now, I just want to give you a flavor, okay, of all the things that we have to offer. the Department of Chemistry offers a specialization in chemical research. And part of it is what we call the Undergraduate Research Program in Science, or UROPS. Now, what is this UROPS all about? I would say, and I was telling students, that this is a unique opportunity for you when you come to the university, okay? If you do UROPS, I mean, I would say that only in the university that you get to do such a thing. And what happens is you can start off by, say, okay, who are the professors that I might be interested to work with? Maybe you are interested in synthetic chemistry. Maybe you are interested in electrocatalysis, which is my field. Then, of course, please email the professors, knock at their doors, and go and talk to them. And what you will be doing really is, together with your mentor, the professor, you will learn to jointly define a project, a research project. You will learn how to design experiments so as to answer the questions posed by the project. You will learn how to carry out experiments, collect data, analyze the data, and present the data. And I think that for many, many students, eventually they will write up their data and publish their data. So if you think about it, it's actually a fantastic training from the, you learn how to start an experiment, execute the experiment, interpret the results, and publish the results. I think this is a unique experience. I encourage all of you, if you want, of course, to try it out. Okay, it's great. In fact, I was doing it ever since I was in my second year. After my third semester, I've been in the lab, and ever since I've been working in the lab. Okay. We also have, of course, internship opportunities. This internship is largely administered by the deanery, but if there are any issues, we have our own coordinator within the chemistry department who can give you a hand. Okay. Student exchange programs, I already mentioned this. Many students, I think about 1/3 or even more, spend about one semester, half a year in the foreign university, Korea, US, Europe, Australia, to spend half a year to learn something over there. We also been starting to offer immersion programs in other countries. In fact, just about a month ago, I was with a group of about 20 chemistry students. We went to Shanghai and Suzhou, and we had a fantastic time over 10 days, learning about China and its culture, learning about the chemical industries in China. So it was fantastic. And then finally, of course, what we really, really hope is, hey, at the end of your 4 years, perhaps you want to consider doing a master's or a PhD program, okay, in the NUS. Now, again, in your first semester, your first 1 year here in the NUS, get to know people, get to know all your friends, those 56 people who are here in this Zoom group. Get to know everybody. I think that you'll find that life is much more enriched in this way. You talk to one another, you learn many, many new things. Yes, Linda, please. Now, I understand. Okay, I think we fully understand that perhaps you still have many queries. And you're thinking, who can I talk to? Of course, you talk to your friends. I think this is one source of information. But you can also email me and Carrie Wong. Okay, so we put our email addresses here. So the email goes to us and not to some chat bots. Okay, so the email will come to me, the email will go to Carrie, and we'll try our best to help, because we are the so-called academic advisor. So this is our job to try to make sure that any queries that you have are satisfactorily answered. Okay, you want to know anything about the curriculum, please let us know. Next, Linda. Okay, I think I'm going to sort of end off here so that we have time for any questions if there's any. But 5th of August, which is about slightly more than three weeks from now, the Chem department has a welcome and tour of NUS chemistry. From 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. You get a nice introduction to the department. There'll be lunch with the management team. I'll be there, okay, for sure. So I would love to say hello to all of you in person. And then there'll be a tour of the laboratories and interactions with the students, with one another. And then finally, and I think this is very, very important because the weather is very hot. So at the end of the tour, there'll be drinks and ice cream, okay, for everyone. You can have as much as you want. Okay, good. I think I'm going to stop here, and then I'll be very happy to answer any queries which you might have. Linda, what is this QR code? It's a sign-up code, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's to sign up for the welcome tour to NUS Chemistry.
Yeah. So please sign up for it. I think it's gonna be fun. Anyway, this is week 0, right?
Yes, in the week 0, and if you don't have your handphone now, I will send another link to your email account, NUS email account, after this session.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so is there any queries for me? Any questions? You can also type your questions, if any, on the what do you call that, the web page. No problem. Chemistry has the best website ever. Wow, thank you very much, Jing Ran. Wow, you're great. Thanks. You have to thank Linda and Carrie, and they are the administrators. They did all the hard work. Any queries? Okay, what do we have here? Douglas. Okay, there's a question. I'm intending to take chemistry as a second major. Am I right to assume that relevant resources can also be found on the student portal? The answer is yes. All the information that you want can also be found on the student portal. Okay, and if there's something that you want that is not available, you can email me and Carrie. But I think it's better to be a chemistry first major. No, but up to you. Okay, up to you. Yeah. But maybe somewhere along the lines, you might change your mind. After you join the chemistry family, you realize, hey, it's actually not too bad to be a first major. Okay, yeah. But all the information can be found on the student portal. Are there any professors doing medicinal research? The answer is yes. Most certainly. Of course, okay, I'm not an expert in this medicinal chemistry research, so I'll be careful what I say. But I can think of a couple of colleagues who are definitely doing it. Maybe I could write down their names, right? I think Ang Wee Han is definitely one of them. Who else? I think Zhu Ruyi is certainly one of them. I think Yulin is definitely one of them. Wei Jiangguo is definitely one of them as well. Yao Shaoqing is one of them as well. So we actually have quite a few professors who are working actually on this topic quite deeply. So these are my colleagues. Just curious, Amelia, how many chemistry first majors are there in this batch? That's a great question. I don't have the exact numbers myself, but I think there'll be about 100, maybe a little bit more than this. I think it's a nice number because this is what this really means in my mind. Okay, this is how I would think about it: is that the chemistry cohort is not humongously huge. What this means is that there is this possibility that you can get to know everybody in your cohort, and I think this is fantastic. And do get to know everybody in your cohort, right? Because I think that having a lot of friends while you're studying here in the NUS is one of the, I would say, the highlights, okay, of your stay in the NUS. So get to know everybody here, okay? Amelia, yeah. with regard to the mod bidding, will being in chemistry benefit me in mod bidding for forensic mods? Wow, this is a good one. I'm not so sure if I can answer this question accurately. Carrie, could you give me a hand? I'm not so sure of the answer to this question.
Not necessary, because forensic courses need their specific prerequisite. You have to check the NUS mod to see what are the prereq of those forensic courses. If you meet the prerequisite, you can select for those courses.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. How's the workload per week looks like? How's the workload per week look like? Okay, I think I can answer the questions as far as the chemistry module is concerned. Okay. If I look at the chemistry courses, typically each course you have about 2 lectures a week. Each lecture is about an hour and a half. And then there is a tutorial that is about maybe 45 to 50 minutes. So if you add everything together, it's about 3 hours and 50 minutes. Let's just say 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours of active FaceTime. Now, certainly you probably spend a bit of time doing your tutorials, your whatever, probably take you 1 or 2 more hours. So let's just say you might spend, I don't know, it really depends on the individual, right? It can be 6-7 hours a week on just one course. Okay, this is very likely. Yeah. So this is the question to Ziyang. Okay, we have a question here. From a participant, is this correct for the first semester, 3 CHS core pre-allocated? Hey, Carrie, okay, could you address this? I'm not so sure.
Yes, I put the pre-allocation by ending with their student number, odd digit and even digit. They will pre-allocate with different sets of the CHS courses.
Okay, so it depends on your student ID, and then you'll be pre-allocated certain courses.
Yeah, can refer to the suggested study plan for chemistry major. Then we put the group under that.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, may I check when and if we need to declare specialization in chemical research during academic plan declaration? Also, which semester year do students generally take UROPs? I suppose you can declare it anytime you want, right, Carrie? I mean, there isn't an exact time.
Declare during the acad plan declaration.
Yeah.
But you cannot change during that semester. But you can change in the following semester for the declaration.
Yeah, okay. Then as for which semester and year do students generally take UROPs, I think it's quite common to start maybe in your end of your, in the second semester of your second year or in your third year. I think probably third year is very common. Okay, third year is very common when people start to take UROPs. Okay, so the question from has been answered. Is it possible to do UROPs during the special term, like during the summer break, and will it count towards the specialization in chemical research? So thank you, Darren, for the question. The answer is yes, it is possible to do UROPs during the special term. And in fact, when I was an undergraduate, that was exactly what I did. And will it count towards the specialization in chemical research? The answer is yes, of course. It counts, okay? It counts. Okay, so this is another question. I intend for chemistry to be my first major, and I don't think I have the prerequisite for the gateway course as I come from poly. Am I right to say that I need to take CM1417 in semester 1, then CM1102 in sem 2? Okay, this is an important question. for the student who comes from poly, there are some diplomas from certain polytechnics that are sort of recognized to have the equivalent of a H2 chemistry. Okay, so if it's recognized as equivalent to a H2 chemistry, then you can do CM1102 directly in semester 1. But if it's not considered as equivalent, then yes, you need to do CM1417 in semester 1 and CM1102 in semester 2. Yeah? Now, if you're not sure, what is your status, you could sort of email Carrie, and I think she should be able to check for you on this point. Okay. Are there a lot of exams, and what format are they usually in? Well, yeah, I guess we do have some exams. I think it depends a lot on which course you are talking about here. Most typical, for one particular course, you may have, I don't know, like 1 or 2 tests, written tests during the semester, and 1 exam, and maybe 1 or 2 assignments. But it really depends on the professor himself or herself, what they want. Okay, we have answered this. Oh, what else? I hope I don't miss out anything. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. Have I missed out anything? What else? Oh, there's another message here coming down. Okay, so Carrie just sent a website, and you can check the poly diplomas accredited to NUS chemistry major. Okay, so this gives you information. Will all the profs be in the tour on the 5th of August? I would like to meet with them and to know more about their medicinal research. Well, of course, I cannot guarantee that all my colleagues will be there, because some of them may not be around because they are, doing something, right? Maybe on a conference or whatever. But we hope that many of them will be there. What I can suggest to you, Darren, is just to be a bit more kiasu, right? What you could do is, if you're interested to meet some people, please email them perhaps in the next couple of days and say, look, I would like to meet you. Will you be there on the 5th of August? If you happen not to be there on the 5th of August, can I sort of look for you after the tour and talk to them? So I think that all my colleagues are all very nice people, and I'm sure that they'll be very happy to talk to you. Okay. Yeah, no problem. We are nice people. We are nice people. Great. Yeah. I mean, I think for the students here, really, I don't know what is your concept of a professor. Okay, you may think that we are this weird guy, wearing a lab coat and white hair and a beard and all that kind of stuff. But of course, you can see my face now on Zoom. Okay, I don't look anything like that. Okay, I still have black hair. I definitely don't wear a lab coat, at least not in my office. So we are very normal people. Yeah. And if you look at my office, it's so very normal. I even have a fish tank in my office. Okay, so it's really nothing special about us. Yeah. So feel free to talk to any professors. Okay, we'll be happy to help in any way we can. Do you have any questions which I can do for you? I mean, again, if you're a bit paiseh to ask, just email. Okay, email me and Carrie. We'll be happy to help in any way we can. Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, we have a question here. How does one become a finance manager in the job prospects for the chemistry section? That's an interesting question. So we have a question here, and let me read it out. How does one become a finance manager in the job prospects for the chemistry section? Okay. I think we can look at this in different perspectives. Okay. The first perspective is the chemistry major degree is, of course, we train you to be a good chemist and we really want you to be a good chemist, but in a way, you are not constrained to doing only chemistry alone, right? So in fact, one of my former students, after she finishes her degree in chemistry and she's a really good chemist, well, she decided to go into programming, and this is fantastic. And her training as a chemist prepares her well, I think, a good solid thinking mind to be a programmer. Fantastic. But what we also see is many students, yes, they work as a chemist for many years, but at some point they will progress in their career and end up being a manager. And in fact, I think this is actually a normal trajectory, right? I mean, because you cannot be working as a chemist in the lab, pouring chemicals till you retire at 65 years old. At some point, you will switch your career trajectory, and instead of working actively as a chemist in a lab, you end up managing people, managing finance. So for myself, for example, right? I mean, I did my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, I did a PhD, a postdoc, and all these while I was doing experiments in the lab. But when I came into NUS, I end up becoming, in a way, a person who manages not just students I teach, but I also manage my own funding as well. So the skill sets which you learn as a chemist can be used in many other scenarios. Okay, let me see. Liang Han to everyone. The CM elective for chemistry specialization is double counted with CM major. Is this correct? That's correct. So effectively, if you want to do your so-called research specialization, you just need to do the UROPS and the what do you call that? The research project. So one is 4 units and the other is 12 units. Okay. What does double counting mean? Does it mean that we do 1 CM electives and it counts as doing 2 CM electives? Not exactly. What this really means is, let's say, for example, back to the question earlier. If you want to do a chemistry major, you need to do 4 electives. If you want to do a specialization in chemical research, you need to do 1 elective plus, of course, the research projects. And that 1 elective can be double counted to fulfill the requirements as a chem major and to fulfill the requirements as the specialization in chemical research. This is what we mean by double counting, okay? Double counting. Is it possible for a student to do UROPS, internship, and SEP all within the 4 years of study? Let me see. Okay. Oh, this is question from Ryan to me, but okay, I shouldn't say. Okay, anyway, so I have a question here. It says, is it possible for a student to do UROPS, internship, and SEP all within the 4 years of study? And the answer is yes, definitely. And in fact, I met a student just last month who did exactly that. And in fact, the student did all these 3 in 3 years. So her 4th year, she's now thinking what she want to do with her 4th year. Okay, so it is possible. It is possible. But of course, just to give a more balanced viewpoint, she definitely, pack a bit more courses in her first 2 years. Okay. In your opinion, would it be better for job prospects to specialize in one area of chemistry, to not specialize, or to take a second major minor in something like physics? Ooh. In my opinion, Well, I'm not so sure if I can answer these questions satisfactorily, because it really depends on what sort of jobs you want to do, right? But maybe I can give you sort of like a bit of a generic answer, lah, okay? I think what is really, really important is, when you come into the Department of Chemistry to do a chemistry major, or to do a specialization, or to do a second major, a minor in physics, whatever, try to do everything well. That means, in other words, don't see that you are here just to get a piece of paper, a degree, but really excel in whatever that you are doing. Okay, I think that this is probably the general opinion which I can give to you, to do it really well. Is doing a specialization in chemical research and SPS an overkill since they are research heavy? Well, this is a great question. I think it depends on the person, really. Well, of course, SPS is a relatively, well, of course, I didn't do it when I was, I don't think it was available when I was an undergrad back then. But I do know of students who actually did both of this. UROPs, they did a final year thesis, and they are also in the SPS. So I think that it can be done. Yeah? Is it heavy on your time? I think so, obviously, right? Because if you load a lot of stuff, it takes a bit more time of you. But I think if you liked it, you should be able to try to manage it somehow. And of course, but if you feel at some point that you're overwhelmed, with all these things, then maybe you can try to tone down a little bit, your commitments. So I think it's up to you. But I think being very young and being intelligent, I'm sure that all of you should be able or have the abilities to handle, all these load. Any other questions which I can help? Yeah, any other questions for me? I don't think there's anything else. Okay, so okay, if there's nothing else, I guess we can stop here, because in fact I think we sort of ran over time. But again, if there's there's something, please let me know.